Ladies and gentlemen, the Biz Launch Academy has launched. A brand new program to teach people how to grow their biz like we've grown ours is going to be available anywhere to anybody at any time. Listen, over the last 2 years, we've worked with dozens of companies and helped them make over $1 million. And we wanted to start sharing some of that information. It's something Timmy and I have been working on for over a year now. You know, how can we put this together and share our information and knowledge and stuff we messed up with a lot more people and help them grow their biz, either start their biz, or if you're at the beginning stages of your business, to help you grow that. We'll walk you step by step through the process, how to solidify your concept, how to sell your concept, how to market to your market, all those things that most people don't know how to do when they start a business. If you're interested, today is April 10th. We have pre-registration open for only 1 week. So it closes on April 16th. April 16th, it's over, but we officially launched the course May 9th and registration will be back up and running. You can go to www.bizlaunchacademy.co. Again, bizlaunchacademy.co. You'll find links wherever you get your podcast, and if you're listening on YouTube, you will see this there as well. DM us if you got any questions. Today on the podcast, Timmy, we got Frankie from Coconut Girl Ice Cream. So this was all pretty random how it came together even. Timmy and Kyler, his daughter, went to go get ice cream one day. I just kind of followed along with them. I don't do dairy, couldn't do it. So I randomly come across this Coconut Girl Ice Cream. I look at it, ingredients work for me. It was delicious. I follow them on Instagram. And then last week she posts her story, like why she started it, her background, upbringing, how it was tough, all the things she's gone through. And I just said, hey, appreciate you sharing the story. She commented back, and then I said, we'd love to have you on our podcast to talk about it more. So there you have it. We talk about struggles of starting a business, how she worked through those, and like us, how she figures out how to make things work, adapt to situations, shift, adjust, move forward. And it was a really fun conversation, Tim.
Sure was.
We hope you enjoy. And we're live. Boom. Frankie, what is up?
Hi, I'm great.
Good. You made it, even though Google Maps tried to screw you.
Is that what happened?
I clicked on the address he gave me, and it took me all the way to Culver City. I'm like, this is not Playa Vista. This is a trick.
Like,
I was like,
way
is this
down
a trick?
Jefferson too? Like
Jefferson and Normandy.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, I'm early. No, I'm not.
All good.
Anyway.
You made it. You're here.
Yeah.
You're here.
All good.
I'm here.
So I told you the story, how I found out about you and the brand 2 weeks ago, maybe? I think 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, about right.
Taking a little trip to
ago.
Whole Foods, get some ice cream. I don't do dairy, but Tim and his girl Kai do. So I walk in, I'm looking for some stuff on the shelf. I don't see anything that really fits like what I would eat. There's a couple things that like I picked and grabbed, and I looked at the label like, nah, not gonna work. Too much this, too much that, or whatever. So then I found yours, Coconut Girl Ice Cream.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. I look at the back. Oh, shit. This is my jam. Like, I can eat this. Cool. So I get it, grabbed it. It was delicious, of course. Followed you on Instagram. And then Friday, you shared your story?
I think so, yes.
Thursday, like late last week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. You shared your story, like wrote this whole big thing, why you started it, where you came from. And then I just sent you a message like, hey, we'd love to have you talk on the podcast.
Yeah.
So here we are.
We
made it.
It was a quick turnaround, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he was grabbing, I think you need to talk to Whole Foods and get your product like lower so a 3-year-old can grab it off the shelf. Because Kyler grabbed the first like box that she could see, and
mine.
No, it's
how
not yours.
How does that work? Because I know there are certain places that
she would probably know.
Well, I know. But like where you can pay and have some more, and you get end cap space and stuff like that.
Yes. I mean, I'm not a big company, so I don't have that much power. But I haven't been to that one in a while. But I know. I think I have my whole shelf, right? Last time I checked.
I don't recall.
Okay, yeah. But product placement, that's really not up to me yet. I mean, you know, I am a small company. There are bigger brands that highly discount their products and give them better placement. So I'm working towards it.
That's the game, though.
Working towards
it.
Yeah.
So we get in. Tell us a little bit how you started it, why you started it. I know we read what we read in the Instagram post, but how did you start it? Why did you start it? How long ago?
Okay, so I started CrossFit in 2010 here in Santa Monica, and I was introduced to the paleo diet. And so we had to do the whole life challenge where, you know, it was mainly the paleo diet, nutrition, but it was a lot about, you know, your daily habits, whether it's meditation, exercise. And so I was always obsessed with health and fitness. And you know, at the time I'm like, do I want to be a personal trainer or do I want to go to culinary school? And so I was just messing around with recipes. I was really into date shakes, and so I bought an ice cream machine, put it in my for some reason I couldn't sleep. I'm like, I really want to make a date shake ice cream.
Yeah,
because I'm just obsessed with dates. And so I stuck it in my ice cream machine. I was like, holy shit, this is good. So I gave it to coaches at my gym. They loved it. You know, I'd bring it to potlucks, and then one of the coaches there messaged me, and she's like, hey Frankie, can I buy one? And I like freaked out. I'm like, what do you mean you want to buy one? I was like, well, how do I even charge this? And so that was my first order. I was like, okay, this is weird. Somebody wants to buy my ice cream. So it started off like that, and then it just started spreading at the gym. People started messaging me and wanting to buy that. And so then I ended up going to culinary school. So I dropped out of UCLA at the time, and then I decided to pursue culinary school here in Santa Monica at the Art Institute. Not to be a pastry chef, just to do a paleo meal delivery service. And so I had private clients. I was making the ice cream, and I just kind of got tired of constantly coming up with different recipes. And so I said, fuck it, why don't I just do the ice cream? So I sat at my dining table and I was just brainstorming. I'm like, I don't know much about marketing, but I want to be my brand, where that's going to push me to be into health and fitness, right? So I was like, oh, I know, Coconut Girl. So when I thought of that idea, I just, you know, trademarked it that same day.
How do you even do that?
Trademarkia, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where I went.
So you just Google places and find one.
How to get a trademark?
Yeah. The power of Google, except for, you know, trying to get here, apparently.
Google Maps,
fucking Google
Maps is a little behind. Yeah.
So I created my website, and, you know, I've created a website for somebody, so I used GoDaddy, and thought of, you know, I bought a Coconut Girl logo, and at the time, it's changed now, so I was like, fuck, I guess I'm doing this. I gave myself 6 months because I was also working for somebody else, but it was that was my motivation to actually do that. And so then I just started hitting up CrossFit competitions, like, hey, you know, can I come and sell my ice cream? And then I was like, how am I going to be different? And I remember just Googling images of icicle tricycles, and I found one. I was like, this is what I want to do. So I found a company, I forget where it was. I think it was Portland. And they customized my icicle tricycle. I got it in the summer, and I bought a trailer, hitched my little Acura RSX at the time, and just drove it to every CrossFit competition on the weekend. And
so
then
they shipped it to you?
They shipped it to me. Okay. Yeah.
So in like every competition in SoCal, or
any
just
competition
like
that I could possibly do, mainly in SoCal, mostly Los Angeles.
Okay.
Because I was really into CrossFit, and, you know, I drank the Kool-Aid at the time, not so much anymore, but and so I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna be, you know, the target audience, just because it's easier for me, and I know these CrossFitters love paleo, and paleo at the time back in 2010 was kind of like, everyone thought it was a diet. So that's why how I started it. And then a grocery store saw my icicle tricycle and asked if I did wholesale, and I lied. I was like, well, I sold wholesale to some CrossFit gyms. So I was like, yeah, I sell wholesale. And so I thought, you know, I Googled, like, how do I get a barcode and how do I get an nutrition label? So yes, the power of Google. And I just, you know, printed it in my home printer or Staples, and I got my first account in downtown LA Grow.
Wow. How long after you'd made your first one did that take?
What do you mean, my first one?
When you made your first
grocery store?
No, made your first actual ice cream sandwich.
Oh, you know what? Actually, so I started doing pints. So before I got in grocery stores, I forgot. So I did pints only.
Okay.
Mind you, I'm not a pastry chef. So when I went to culinary school, it's like two different people. You're a pastry chef who's like science-based and patience. I'm none of that. I have no patience. And so I had to learn how to properly make ice cream. And then I noticed a lot of the people that were buying my ice cream were making into ice cream sandwiches. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And so I started doing the ice cream sandwiches, and that's when the grocery store had approached me and asked if I did wholesale. So luckily they weren't open yet, so it gave me maybe 3 months.
The store wasn't open yet?
No, it was a brand new store. They have their first location is in Manhattan Beach. And that's where I was producing my products at the time. And they said, hey, we're opening up a second location in downtown LA. So it gave me time, I think 3 months till they open. If you look at my labels, they're so shitty, but I was like, I don't care. Let's just get it out of there.
Right. Yeah.
Did you design them yourself, the labels?
I did. It's so embarrassing to look at now. Yes. So it's been a huge improvement. But yeah, I created everything myself. I mean,
that's so great.
So that's how it started. And then I'm like, I guess this is the path I'm going towards. And I remember doing my first demo when that store opened, and the manager who wanted my products in the store, he asked if I had other accounts. I'm like, no, this is my first one. Thank you for believing in me. And then that was the motivating. That's what motivated me to approaching other grocery stores. So I just hit up all the grocery stores, and they gave me a chance. I was like, all right, I'm doing it.
So what were you going to UCLA for?
What's that?
What were you going to UCLA for?
Oh my goodness. So I struggled. I struggled with specializing in one thing, and I couldn't just justify paying for the tuition when I didn't really know what I want to do. But I actually went as a philosophy student.
Okay.
So I went to Santa Monica College for my undergrad. It took a while, and I fell in love with philosophy, just about questioning life and why people do things for whatever reason. And then I went to UCLA, and it was all history based. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking boring. Like, I can't, I'm paying for this. Like, I have to survive. I'm here. I have no family, no one's supporting me, because I ran away from home and I just wanted to start a new life. So I'm like, I need to work. I can't do this. And everybody there wanted to party. I've never had the luxury to party. I had to work, so I didn't even finish a quarter, for crying out loud. And I'm glad I didn't, because what's the point of paying a whole quarter or more than one quarter?
I talk about that all the damn time, getting out of school.
Yeah.
Like, why? For what? People just zombie into school.
Yeah.
Throw $150K, $200K, whatever it costs, 4 years. They're like, it's loans. I'm not paying for school.
Right.
Then you get out and you got your $50,000
Exactly.
job, if you're lucky.
Yeah. Can we beat back the truck up? You said you ran away from home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you just start on over?
I know. I'm like, okay, so I ran away
from?
from a boyfriend. I'm from NorCal, all over Northern California. So I was born in the Philippines. I moved to the US when I was 5. Yeah. So, and then my mom was basically a single mother and, supported us. So I'm the youngest of 2 boys. I was always kind of the black sheep, I guess. And so I had a lot of struggles. I always had to prove myself, like, hey, I'm not a bad person. I just want to explore life. But my mom is very traditional. It's like, don't hang out with boys. And I'm like, I'm a tomboy. Like, my friends are all boys. I want to hang out with boys. I'm not trying to date or anything. And so, I had a fallout with my mother. And then at the time, I moved in with a boyfriend when I was 17. And then, that didn't go well. And so we were off and on for many years up until like, I think I moved here when I was 19 or 20. So I moved here to run away from him because I just didn't want to do it anymore. What's funny is he came out here and we tried to make it work. And then, lesson learned.
Young.
So that's what I mean by I ran away.
Gotcha.
I was running away from my problems, my family, a boyfriend at the time. So, yeah.
Gotcha. And you moved right down to Santa Monica, or?
Yeah, so I had relatives in Koreatown, so I stayed with them for on their couch for about a month, and then my cousins were going to SMC. I'm like, hey, I'll check it out, and I fell in love with it. I'm like, all right, this is it. So I got a place in Santa Monica, got a car, and I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm staying here, and I'm just gonna continue, at SMC until I figure out what it is that I wanted to do.
Just made it work.
Made it work. I was living off savings because I was always a workaholic. So I was living off my savings for a little bit, interning at Smith Barney. Thought I wanted to get into finance at first. And then I'm like, that's a lot of school.
And a lot of boring.
Yes.
So you get into your first grocery store. That's like cool. That's a big deal, right?
It is, yeah.
What did was it like a big order, or like what was it like?
I don't even remember. Oh my God, it's like so embarrassing when I think about it now because I had no structure. I'm like, yeah, you could just order however many you wanted, and I didn't realize no, you have to have cases. And so every time they'd order like an odd number, I'm like, fuck, now I have to get a different box to fit all of this. It was just chaotic. And I'm like, wait, how am I going to deliver this? Just individual. And so I don't remember how many it was. It was definitely not over 100. If anything, maybe like 30. Because now I sell them a dozen a case. So then I'm like, whoa, this is not right. Because if they order 66, then I have to figure out how many, like the correct boxes to fulfill that.
Oh, and were they like calling you like, hey, I just need to put in an order, or did you have you didn't have an online system, did you?
What's that?
You didn't have like an online order system or anything?
It was just email me.
Okay.
I mean, till this day, it's still like some of the bigger accounts will just send me a purchase order.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's very casual. Sometimes they'll call me, or some of my grocery stores now just text me. So
that's cool.
Still very.
Yeah.
But it's great because then I build a relationship with them.
For sure. When you have that they buy your 30, but then like people have to buy them. Were you worried about that? Like are people going to buy this shit? Like, did you think at all about product placement, where it is, and anything else? Or you're just like, cool, they're
No,
buying
I was
30?
just happy. I'm like, well, I don't really have any power because like my packaging looks like shit. But I built, I built a following from just going to CrossFit events. And then so, because that was in downtown, I made sure that I did a lot of events in that area. So I would hit up like, CrossFit gyms over there and be like, hey, we're now sold in this store. Because a lot of people were asking me, where can I buy this? And I'm like, well, right here, right now, right?
Yeah.
In this little icicle tricycle. And so I just started sending people over there. So I wasn't really worried. And I mean, I really had nothing to lose at the time. I was just like crossing my fingers. Hopefully it sells.
Yeah, all right.
But people were excited they could finally go, to downtown LA. So I would have a lot of people from West Covina or Pasadena drive to downtown LA and get that.
Which is not common in LA. To drive anywhere for anything.
No. So when now I'm in like 70 stores, but before when I even had like 7, people would seriously drive far just to get my products.
That's
so
awesome.
that's why I was like, I really need to expand this.
Yeah.
Like there is a demand for it.
Yeah.
So I kind of let people tell me what to do with the company, and I just went with it and I just improved it.
rode the wave.
And when you built your website, it wasn't e-commerce, right? It was just more like,
It was
here's
just
information about
correct.
it. Okay.
Yes. Till this day, you can't order online.
Okay.
So
Why is that?
Yeah, will you go that way?
because I'm not that big of an account to have a partnership with FedEx and to offer flat rate shipping,
Yeah.
as far as I know. But eventually, yes, I want to do that. We just don't have a fulfillment center at the moment right now to do that. But I think eventually do like a subscription model for ice cream, because it's expensive. You have to get an insulated cooler, dry ice.
Yeah, the shipping part I hear
then
for something
overnight.
keeping it cool is
Oh,
tough.
yeah, overnight. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
Yeah, so
Damn.
I'm just prioritizing, what's important right now, and then eventually offer that, because there's a lot of people who leave LA and they're like bummed that they can't buy my products. And I had one chick that will buy like 100 at a time, but I'm like, well, I don't have a person to fulfill your orders. So now my goal is to just expand my region by this year, up in NorCal, anyways.
Oh, cool.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, making
So.
it.
I wonder if they could do like through Whole Foods. Like, I think they could just order and pick it up through
then
Whole
they do
Foods,
it?
right?
Yeah, so actually
kind of
I-
like almost ordering online. Yeah.
Yeah, they can. Although, so Whole Foods works with Instacart, so they're only limited to what.
Well, isn't Whole Foods owned by Amazon now?
Amazon, correct. But that's
Yeah.
a whole different business. Like I would have to create an Amazon account, and I would still be fulfilling the orders. But I did apply
Gotcha.
for, I think you're referring to like Amazon Fresh. I did
Yeah.
apply, and they're not they said no right now. They're not looking for new products in that category.
Gotcha.
So.
So they started limited, and then once they open it up, then you'll be able to reapply.
Yeah, but I just I'm in the process of working with one of the biggest distributors who distributes for Whole Foods, so
Cool.
that's in progress. So I'm hoping by the end of this year we can get it up north, because then they would distribute my
Gotcha.
products, because I'm a direct distributor at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm limited to just Southern California.
Nice. Well, that's good. 70 stores.
70 stores.
How did you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Just
Like, how do you approach?
I like Rainbow Acres down the street.
Okay. Love Rainbow Acres.
Yeah, I went online and I basically just like stalked the grocery managers, wrote a list. I had an Excel sheet, wrote the list.
Does it say
numbers.
online who it is? Or you have to
Sometimes
do
like
some
for
research?
Bristol Farms, I would just Google grocery manager and some blogs would pop up with their name. So I was like, yes, there's the name. So I would write it down.
yeah.
Because, when you call the corporate office, they'll listen to you if you know who you're trying
Right.
to communicate with.
Right.
And then I learned the power of the gatekeepers, building a relationship with
Yep,
the gatekeepers. And so like Rainbow Acres, for instance, the guy was not there. I was like, well, shit, like I have this ice cream. So I was like, I just gave it to all the cash register, the people that were working there, and they loved it. And so then when I
course.
followed up with the manager, I said, hey, I just to let you know, I dropped off samples. They're like, oh yeah, all the girls won't stop talking about it. I was like, he's like, we'd love to carry your products. So a lot of it was like that.
Yeah.
Where I
That's
couldn't
an easy
necessarily-
sell. Yeah.
I know. So
Yeah.
the power of sucking up to the gatekeepers,
Yeah.
taking care of the
Yeah, yeah,
gatekeepers, because
yeah,
they're
for
the
sure.
ones who will,
Yeah.
they're here
Uh-huh.
protecting the managers, because I'm sure they get this all the time. People dropping off products. So
Do they? I wasn't thinking that would be common.
yeah,
That makes a lot. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to do that,
Mm-hmm.
but I just wouldn't think people would think to just here's some free shit, enjoy and go.
yeah. I don't know. Somebody had recommended that to me, and so I was reading up on like, how do you, because it's hard to get to the person in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to talk to this person. So how do you get to that person?
Yeah.
You suck up to the doorman.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that made it easier for me, because
That's cool.
I was like intimidated. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
so yeah.
When did you start thinking, all right, this is going to be something that I can make money off of? Not like I can make $1 here, $1 here, but like this is going to be a career, a job.
I guess when other grocery stores started approaching me from, or like small markets started finding my products in other stores and they were now emailing me, I'm like, okay, there is a demand. I mean, for a grocery manager to shop at another store and be like, hey, we'd love to carry your products. I think that's when I was like, this is legit.
I got
now.
something here.
Yeah. And then when I have people from all over the world that, you know, have been in SoCal and tried my products and they're demanding it here and there, that's when I'm like, okay, I have something different here. You know, like till this day, it's the only paleo ice cream sandwich on the market. So that makes,
Great.
yes. Well, and SoCal, I think I just found out about another company, but in Southern California, we are the only. Huh?
F them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
no names, please.
There's a lot of companies that are now like these bigger ice cream sandwich companies or ice cream companies. Period. They're now going towards the direction that I'm going towards or started is dairy free. So, but if you look in the ingredients, you know, there's still like grains. They're using organic cane sugar. For me, my focus is just the paleo diet. You know, no chemicals. Like I don't care if there's no sugar. I mean, it's still replaced by some kind of chemical. It's probably not good for you. So that's my main focus. Because I've had people ask me to do keto, and I'm like, I just don't think it's not the direction I want to go towards right now. No, I think eventually. I know monk fruit is paleo. It's probably one of the only paleo sugars that would be approved. But anyways.
I don't know specifics on stuff like that.
Yeah, how are you making these now for all 70 stores?
We have, so when I started, I rented out, well, when I started, it was in my home kitchen.
Yeah.
I had this little ice cream maker that would probably take 12 hours just to do like, I don't know, 10 pints. It was miserable. I know. So every time I had an event, it was like, oh my God. And then I upgraded.
Like time? Or like, are you constantly working on it or you just put it in there and just...
I put it in there. So I make a big batch.
Yeah.
But at the time, so when I first started, I had one, you know, the bowl that you stick in the freezer. So obviously you can only use that one time because the bowl melts. So then I had my big investment. I bought like a $300 Cuisinart. And that was motorized. I was like, holy shit, this is expensive at the time. I'm like, but it was worth the investment. So that allowed me to work the machine all day, but it still took forever. That's all I had. And then eventually, you know, I had some events that were asking for a health permit. And I'm like, well, I do it out of my house. So I made the jump. I found a commercial kitchen in Redondo Beach, and I was doing that for a few years. And then I moved to a facility in North Hollywood, and they're half co-packers, so they do the baking part, and then I do the ice cream part.
Gotcha.
That's great.
So when you moved to Redondo, were you like renting space in the commercial kitchen?
I was, yeah. So it's like an incubator.
Okay.
So you know, get charged
cool.
by an hour. And so then I went online on Craigslist and bought my first frozen yogurt machine in like the ghetto of LA. And I remember I was like, I'm gonna go pick this up. They're like, no, you should not go pick it up. Like my police friends were like, you should not pick that. I was like, I don't care, I'm from Oakland. I'll go get it. So I picked it up at some old like a burger place that didn't want it anymore. So that was my second big investment, and that was like $3,000, I think.
Oh wow. Keep adding zeros.
Yeah, I know. But it's like I realize every time you make that jump and you're like, oh my God, this is a huge commitment, it ends up working out. Right? You have to make those.
It's been something like that for us. Like we used to, when we started, we had people doing our video, and we would just pay them. You know, we had like monthly stipends, basically we pay them. And then we were like, all right, we need to buy a camera. And it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, right?
How can we get a camera that's cost efficient?
Yeah.
And it's still thousands of bucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, so we had a deal in place already for the first thing, but then it was like, all right, we need to keep like making money if we're going to have this expensive piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Now it's...
But it motivates you, right? Because you're like, I spent this much money.
Yeah.
You're all in. You got to do it. So that's why even those, you know, certain steps, like I've been freaking out recently. I'm like, you know, the bigger you want to get, obviously, the more problems you have, and it gets more expensive. And I'm here like terrified, you know, because I don't like being in debt. But at the same time, it's an investment, and you want to go big, you gotta go big.
Yeah.
Would you have to manufacture and find like a co-packer up north too?
No, actually, I would probably do it here first, and then
be able to ship it
with the distributor that I'm going to be working with, so they would take care of it.
Gotcha.
So until I bring on partners that can help me manage the other locations.
Is it still just you plus those? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Just me.
So you do like the marketing,
I do everything.
the distribution.
I do. Yeah.
That's
the customer service, all of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
How did you go about like your social strategy around like?
There's really, I mean, I'm still working on it. I'm not the best at it. I've just grown it organically.
Sure.
You know, and I've been looking into hiring other companies to help me manage that. So I'm currently trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like you got
Time
into one
consuming.
store and then you like went on social media and like threw up a bunch of ads or anything.
Oh, I
or-
do ads once in a while. Yes. Just, you know, targeting the Southern California with this age range, mostly women. I've noticed that women respond better to my ads, and that's why, you know, I want to build this like Coconut Girl. I am Coconut Girl.
Yeah.
And people and women are inspired by my stories. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
Have you
direction I'm going
told?
towards.
Are you constantly telling your story?
No, I just started. You
Okay.
guys, no, I've just
That
That was day
are we
one.
breaking the
I
story here
know.
on the
Well,
Business
like-
and BS podcast?
like
Yeah.
close friend, just because I've been very like quiet about my personal life. Not quiet, but just I don't know. Because I've lived a fucked up life, so I was kind of
Sure.
embarrassed for a while. But then I realized like, whoa. So when I dropped out of UCLA, I was so depressed, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell anybody that I dropped out of UCLA until I make something out of myself. So that was the
Yeah.
motivating factor. And so when I started, you know, feeling a little more accomplished, mostly when I got into Whole Foods, I'm like, you know what? There's nothing to be ashamed of. You hear, you know, so many other stories who people who education wasn't or college just wasn't the direction that they wanted to
Sure.
pursue, yet they still made shit happen.
Yeah.
And that I'm like, I want to be that person.
Uh-huh.
So
So when people are asking you, "Hey, how's school going?" You're like, "Good."
Great. Love Southern California.
Yeah.
yeah, well, actually at the time, yeah, I wanted to talk about it.
Just go to the bookstore and get like the UCLA
Yeah.
shirts and stuff.
Got a
Yeah.
new jacket.
Yeah, well, luckily, like when I moved out here, I didn't, because I was such a workaholic, I didn't really make a lot of friends. And so, you know, people really weren't asking me. And at the time, I didn't have a relationship with my family. So it was easy to keep it on the down low. But then I also wanted to move to New York because like, no one's going to know me. No one's going to ask me stuff. But I was terrified of New York. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
So I stayed here.
I feel like especially launching your product, like here is way better than launching in
Oh,
New York.
yeah.
Way better. There's no more like health conscious region
sure.
than here.
And the beach. I mean, the beach is a different vibe. I love it out here on the west
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we initially moved out here. I don't know if Pat mentioned. So I'm about 5 years. He's 4 years. We had a fitness app, and that's the whole reason why we moved out here in Santa Monica. was
Oh, no way.
fitness related technology.
Yeah.
And there was no better place than
For
Southern
sure.
California. Yeah.
yeah, the health and fitness industry is definitely
Mhm.
over here.
For sure.
Are we
So
having
made
technical issues or?
Yeah, just I mean, just the live stream's down.
Oh, okay. So
We're riding.
still
I
riding.
don't give a shit.
Recording.
Yeah.
I forget what I was gonna ask.
I forget what you were gonna ask too.
Damn. We're talking about Santa Monica health. Fitness.
I really broke it there with the F up on that.
No,
Here's
we were
what
good until I asked you the question, and then I lost it.
Oh.
That's all right.
Well, hey, it happens.
I was talking about our app, my health fitness. She said she was talking about potentially moving to New York.
Oh, really?
And I
For
said,
culinary
"Don't
school.
That was-
don't
back in the
fucking
day.
do it." Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great place for that kind of shit, I think.
Here or
yeah.
New York?
Yeah,
Here,
yeah.
LA.
Yes, for sure.
So
And
when
that
do you still
healthy-
do the CrossFit type stuff or no?
A little
events at
bit.
least?
Yes and no. We did tone down a little bit and just focused on Facebook ads.
Okay.
But we're gonna revamp that this year.
And your
What's
Facebook
that?
ads go for what? Are they you driving people specifically to a store or for like a
The
coupon or-
website.
to the website?
No, we don't do coupons right now. Mainly
Coupons?
this coupons.
Coupons.
Get you a coupon.
Just to our store like locator on our website.
Okay.
Or our profile. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm not an expert in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a big budget right now to focus on marketing. So I've been trying to do everything organically.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
And I will, till this day, will still go to a CrossFit competition or do a store demo because I'm the best person to sell my product. So I will still do that. And I love meeting people. Like, you know, even though
Yeah.
running the business is so stressful, and then when I do these events, it's a reminder. I'm like, I put smiles on, you know, people's faces. And so it just reignites that passion in me when I meet people who love my products.
Sure.
And so I will still do that till this day.
We're trying. So we just have our first physical product
Okay.
that we own. We've worked with and we've done like brands marketing stuff for other brands. But so we have our new coffee company we just launched a couple months ago. And so we're trying to
Sweet.
figure out stuff like that too. Like how our I guess our marketing is a little different. Like our
Wait, what's it called?
our city coffee. If you look to the right up there on that shelf,
Right behind us over here.
like right there, it's
Oh,
up there.
There's some
There's
back
some
there.
of it
Yeah,
up there.
there's some back there.
Oh, yeah. There's some of it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it on your Instagram,
Yeah,
actually.
we just got a big
I love coffee.
stock in. We'll
Yeah.
give you some. Yeah,
Nice.
from
Yeah.
me
Do
later.
you drink coffee?
Yes,
Okay.
all
She
the
said
time.
she loved coffee.
Well,
I live off coffee.
Yeah, us too. So that's how. But now it's like different when we have a physical product, because a lot of stuff we've sold before is like we're selling video to you or something like that, you know, or consulting or marketing. We're not selling an actual physical product to ours, so it's slightly different, but not really. But we're trying to figure out different ways, like how through like. Initially, do we want to try to get into Whole Foods? Is this part of the biz plan? Marketing hasn't been. I mean, at some point, if Whole Foods called us today and said, "Hey, we want you to do this," great. And like we've reached out, but like there's no push. You're not constantly pushing.
No, I mean I've talked to. Yeah, I think we're getting a base first, and then kind of like how you did. You did your events and you did a base, and then you got into Whole Foods.
I mean, the great thing about starting off doing that is research and development. You're getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking to your customers, and like I said, because I transitioned. I think if I only did pints, I probably wouldn't be where I am, because if you go to the grocery store, there's like it's just saturated. And I would, like I said, at the time, I was the only paleo ice cream sandwich on the market, and that was gonna make me different. And so getting out there, building that brand, building followers, and then have them give you your feedback and then perfect it. And that's just how I did it. Just because, like I said, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a business, right? So I took baby steps. So yeah. Where are you guys manufacturing your stuff?
We roast down in Mar Vista.
Yeah,
it's not down.
It's like
I
Mar
guess.
Vista,
over in Mar
Culver,
Vista,
Venice kind of
sweet
pocket. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are local.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
people love
The
that.
whole idea around it is, so it's called Our City Coffee, but Our City Coffee, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, wherever we kind of do that is we buy the beans all over the world, because obviously you don't roast or grow beans here in Los Angeles.
Not in your backyard.
And then and then you we work with the different local roasters, so everything will be local, roasted local, delivered local, give back local. So every purchase goes back into the community.
That's
as well.
so cool. Have you guys thought about doing the farmers market? Because I used to do that, and that helps.
Hey, we thought about it. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, we don't want to do that.
Literally just thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like not a whole lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not a horrible idea, but I don't think that's the route for us today.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
we'll get to that, but I don't know. That doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
I know. It was tough, because you got to get a tent, and then for me, with like the ice cream, it was constant like dry ice, and you have to be there for hours. So I mean, it was well worth it, because I was still able to talk to people and gain some customers.
Where would you do that? In Santa Monica?
I did it everywhere. I did Mar Vista as well. I think it was like Wednesday night. I did Sherman Oaks, Culver City.
So
and
were you doing different place almost every day?
almost every day.
Damn.
But that's because I wasn't in a lot of stores, so I really didn't have a
Yeah.
choice. And everyone's like, just do the farmers market. So I tried it for, I think, a little less than a year. I'm like, this is so time consuming, because I didn't have any part-time help really, and I was like, I need to focus on the grocery stores. So I just had to stop doing that. It was just a lot, right? Because I was using the icicle tricycle, and then a tent. You got to be there before the market
tear
starts.
down.
Yeah, and
You're
I'm
on
like
your feet
running
all
around.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then so I mean, I'm glad I tried it. It was good for me, like I said.
I'm sure it's a great experience too.
For sure. But then I'm like, you know what? I need to focus on the grocery stores. So, and it was like one of the best decisions for the company.
Yeah. Where did you find the best farmers market for you personally?
So when you're new, you don't really have a choice. Then that's why I was like, I don't do this anymore, because
get
you get
anywhere
like
you
the
can fit in.
slow ones. And I'm like, this is miserable.
Yeah.
But like I said, you don't have a choice,
Yeah.
right? You gotta say yes to everything at the time. But I did not get into any busy ones. That's why it was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
It's not worth my time and energy.
How much money could you make at something?
Not even a lot. Like,
No.
well, I mean, I'm selling my ice cream sandwiches for $5. So sometimes the best was like $300, and then you have to give them a percentage. I mean, it's not a lot.
Not nothing though.
Yes, correct. But then, like, my time, and then my time
And your
just
margins and
wasn't worth it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that I tried it.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was a cool experience.
Sure. So you're how many years in now?
This is gonna be year 3 being in grocery stores.
Okay. What would you have done differently in the past 3 years if you could go back? Or nothing?
To be honest, nothing.
Really?
'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I didn't have a plan. I
Sure.
just kind of just did what I felt like was right. I was constantly adapting to things. I wouldn't have changed anything.
Most people.
I mean,
can't
maybe
do that.
have more money, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's about it. No, I'm happy with the way I did things. Maybe it's slower for other companies, but I just wanted to grow it organically and didn't want to be in a lot of debt for something I wasn't sure was gonna work out.
And you haven't taken on any investors or anything
No.
like that? You just did it all yourself?
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Would you ever do that?
Yes.
Yeah?
For
Are
sure.
you
I want
trying
to.
to?
I'm not actively seeking. I've had people approach me and it just wasn't a great fit. But I'm definitely feeling more confident about now. So there's some things in the works.
Interesting.
But yes, I'm at the point where I'm ready for investors and really take it to the next level. And yeah, spend more money on marketing and really get it out there. So
when did you actually, so you make the first pint for the friend or whatever, friend or someone that goes to the gym. When did you say, oh shit, I need to get like a business license and stuff?
Well, so I want it to be real, even though it wasn't a business. So when I thought of the name, I already thought of I just applied for everything, the business license, everything.
Right off the jump.
Oh,
okay.
Because for me, it was like, all right, you're putting that out in the world, you better make that shit happen. Because I don't like to be all talk,
Yeah.
So I just did it because I wanted it to be real. Even though I didn't know where it was going, I'm like, there's a commitment. You're all in, right? You spent, I don't know, a few $100s on trademarks and all that.
Sure.
So yeah, in my head, it was like, this is gonna happen.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you just
it has
make
to
that
happen.
jump.
You
Yeah.
just said, fuck it, I'm jumping.
Yeah, even though I don't have a business, I'm just gonna apply for it in case someone took it, right? So when I first applied, it was Coconut Girl ice cream, and then I realized, the milk and dairy company or health permit, whatever, they told me I couldn't be ice cream because technically it's not ice cream. So I had to drop it and then reapply just as Coconut Girl. But yeah, I mean my website and social media still says ice cream because I'm not gonna drop it.
Yeah.
So that's not regulated. But everything like on my packaging, I can no longer say ice cream. So
It doesn't say ice cream on there.
it does not say ice cream.
What
No.
does it say? Just coconut?
Frozen. I think frozen dessert, frozen cookie sandwich.
Frozen
Yes.
cookie sandwich.
But it's in the ice cream aisle.
It's an ice cream
Yeah.
aisle. Because it resembles ice cream, you still have to follow all the regulations, pay the fees, which is so bullshit. Yeah, you can't call it ice cream.
And what fees, like who are you paying?
State
CDFA, the
regulators?
state, yeah. Mostly the state and the city for health permit. So yeah, it's a lot.
Sure. it
Everybody
is.
wants their money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give me my money.
If somebody were trying to get like a physical product in your space-ish, what would you advise them to do? Like
Space as in ice cream? I
no,
wouldn't
but
give you
just-
any advice.
Yeah,
What are
yeah,
you
no.
talking about?
I just mean
Don't do it.
like healthy snack space.
So I get approached a lot, like from, friends from the gym that want to start their own business. And for me, it's like, I mean, there's no one way, but I just feel like if you don't come from a lot of money and you haven't raised money, just do it organically. Start with your friends and family. Like I said, because you don't want to spend $100,000 on like trying to perfect an idea and nobody wants to fucking buy it. You know what I mean? Or there's always going to be changes. So my recommendation is just, even if it's not perfect, and that's why I was okay with giving my first account, shitty labels. I didn't care. Like, just get it out there.
Yeah.
So don't even like wait for it to be perfect. Like I said, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, shit, now I have to get QuickBooks.
Yeah.
But
don't think
wait.
about all that stuff.
No, but it'll just come to you, And for the longest time, I thought that was my weakness, not knowing things. But at the same time, now I've just changed the mentality where I'm like, wow, I knew nothing about the business. I didn't even know how to make ice cream properly. I mean, I did remember briefly in culinary school, we made ice cream. I was like, oh yeah, you got to add egg yolks to that. So that was the only thing that I changed. And, but just not knowing anything is really empowering, where it's like, wow, I really made shit happen without like any knowledge or resources. So that was just,
most people can't do that shit.
No.
Most people wouldn't think of that as empowering.
No.
either.
Yeah. I think because, like I said, I've been through so much shit in my personal life that I'm like, I have nothing to lose.
Sure.
Like, why not? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I hated working for other people just because I've always been a hard worker, and whatever it was, it didn't matter. Like, I remember working at Panda Express. I'm like, I'm gonna be the best at this. Whatever I did, I came with that mentality, because we're immigrants. I saw my mother work 7 days a week. She didn't care. She had to work at a care home and then do her bookkeeping job on the weekday. I just saw her make it happen, support 3 children. We were not citizens at the time. So, yeah, I've just always had.
But you became a citizen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Say that,
Don't
'cause that'd
report
be-
me. I'm legal.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, this isn't live anymore, so we can edit that.
But I was
Yeah,
going to
that
say,
was
like,
better than-
that would have been a whole nother friggin' issue, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't even
I
know
don't
if you
even
could
know
do
how.
that.
I know that they incentivize, people who own businesses, and you can get petitioned that way,
meet
like
certain criteria and stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So no, but I've been a citizen for a while now.
Oh yeah, I guess one of our buddies is
Yep.
a citizen.
Yeah. So that was an issue.
Yeah.
So what's next? Are you foresee yourself adding products
Yes.
outside of like going to like NorCal? Like what?
I do
Yeah,
want
that's on the
to.
list.
A lot of people have been asking me to do vegan. I'm not vegan, but I get it.
Sure.
So the only thing I would eliminate is the egg yolk. So I do want to get more products, and I want to venture outside of just ice cream. Not really sure, what it is. I've had people like say, "Oh, you should do this and you should do that," but I want Coconut Girl to be more than just ice cream. That's why I'm happy that I dropped the ice cream part of it.
Sure.
I want it to be,
A
almost
brand.
like a brand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Have you
so.
been messing with things, trying?
I just haven't had time.
No.
Well, I thought about I used to sell the cookies by itself, but I just didn't want to do that anymore. Just because we were hand scooping it wasn't efficient.
Okay.
But so I'm not really sure. I obviously would be coconut based related,
Yeah.
but not in the beverage. No. So I don't know. Maybe almond butter. Coconut, but
I'm
everyone's
listening.
doing that.
I'm
Yeah.
listening.
I do like almond
Oh,
butter. Yeah.
yeah.
So I have my friends from London. Yeah, they love almond butter. Not from here, so they're like, you should make it so much better. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. But at the same time, I was like, everyone's doing almond butter. So I don't know.
Not really. No. Is everyone doing almond? Because if I look at the almond where I go get almond butter, I always have to in Whole Foods. Like I have to find a good organic almond butter, and there's like 3.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
well,
that's
then there you
it.
go. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
thing. So
Can we be on that taste?
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
right.
for sure. Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure.
What was I gonna say? Damn, man.
I don't know.
I'm
You're going
blanking.
meat.
Monday.
You're going meat today,
Monday.
Yeah.
Is product related? I don't know.
You don't know. Wow.
No idea.
I'm so disappointed.
No, I know.
I don't know
It's too
either.
early.
It's too
Did you drink your coffee?
I
Apparently
did.
not.
I did.
Were you up late with Kai last night? Up
Uh,
early?
I was up late.
Up late, up early.
Always up late,
Yeah.
up early anyways. So.
Interesting. So as far as we're probably time-ish. Yeah, we got a couple more minutes here. I try to keep it like 45 to an hour-ish.
Yeah.
Just to respect people's time. As far as like social strategy, have you ever thought about that? Because I know you said you handle it, you do it. You've done some ads, but have you thought like strategically, or you're just like, fuck it, let me throw some shit at the wall, see what works?
I think I'm just testing stuff out. So now I'm reaching out to certain influencers, and I want to see how that works out. So it'll be kind of new for me. Like I said, I thought about hiring a company to do the social media, but it's just tough because I don't know if they can necessarily
Get your vibe.
get my vibe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
How would you do the influencer stuff? Because you wouldn't be selling product. It would just be marketing.
using their face,
At
having
your
their
local
repost,
place.
paid post.
Yeah.
Because I had one person repost my products, and she has like 1 million followers, and I just gave it to her for free, and I was surprised she had posted on her story, and I gained 400 followers from her.
Yeah.
It wasn't even paid. I was like, can you imagine if I actually paid somebody
Yeah.
and get organic followers? So there's a few influencers that I'm talking to that that is my next step.
Sure.
Because you just hear about a lot of stories where companies just work with influencers, and that takes them to the next level.
Well, definitely. Yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So that's my next social strategy, if that answers your question.
I dig it. I might have some names for you.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Worth reaching out to.
A handful.
Okay.
We've done
Also,
a decent
breaking
amount of
news. I got what I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right, Timmy.
Thank you.
Welcome
I'm
back. Welcome
Welcome
back.
Did you go to Expo West at all?
I did, not as an exhibitor,
Just the
to kind of scope it
cruise
out.
the streets. Yeah.
Yeah, and see what the trends are. So I did. I went last year and this year as well.
And what do you think?
I think it's great. I've talked to a lot of my vendor friends, and I've asked them. I said, "Do you think that's the next step for me?" Because it's not cheap.
No,
it's like
no,
at
it's
least
expensive
9,000.
as hell, yeah.
I mean, it's $900 just to even go a 10.
Yeah,
So,
$900 to a 10.
Yeah, but this
To
time,
walk around. Yeah.
well, this time, luckily, my friend knew the industry. She's like, "Why don't you just go as a caterer?" I'm like, "Well, technically, I am a caterer because we do some catering events, and that was only $35." I was like, "Why did I do this last year? I fucking spent $900."
Jesus.
Yeah. So, but everyone's telling me to do the fancy food show in San Francisco. So
What's that all about?
it's like Expo West, but I think you get more of the grocery managers and investors and less, influencers. So
Okay.
that was recommended to me. I'm still in the process of trying to get into that one. That's in January of next year, so there's still some time.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so I don't know if I want to do the Expo West. I know it's good for, companies like me, but at the same time, I mean, I've been doing things differently, and it's still making it happen.
working.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Plus you have different barriers too, like being that it's a frozen product and stuff like that too. Like you can't just like get up and go and do something. You have to set up like the infrastructure,
freezers and everything.
Like I think once your distributor comes in, you'll be able to do.
Yeah.
Really open up more.
Yeah. So I mean, I keep saying, oh, next year I'm gonna do it. So maybe next year, but I did not do it this year. Yeah. So I just wanted to get some ideas if I were to do that. So, have you gone?
No,
I have not. Have you?
It's pretty cool.
No.
Yeah, I've heard
I always
good
see
things
like
about
the Instagram
West.
stories and stuff. Yeah,
I've heard the West because they do Expo East and West. I heard that it used to be like even, and now like most people are just coming out to the West, and the East is kind of dying.
Oh, I didn't
because
know
like
that.
people travel all over the world to the
Right.
West, and the East is kind of
Okay.
That's what I hear.
Why?
I don't know.
California's the
Easy.
shit.
I mean,
That's
yeah, I
why.
don't know.
From out here. It's in like Anaheim or something, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's not a bad place to go. You can even like.
It was pretty cool though. It's overwhelming.
Really?
I only went for a day.
How
but,
big
like,
is it?
I don't even know. The whole convention center. Like
It's
I thought
massive.
I hit up every booth, but apparently I did not. So it's huge. Like people stay there, and it's like I think 3 or 4 days, and they'll go every day. I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I thought I was fit.
We did the Fit Expo last couple years.
Oh yeah, I've never
Yeah,
done
we know.
that.
It's cool. You should go. You should go just to check it out.
Yeah.
They're in Anaheim in June.
They are in Anaheim, June.
Okay.
We'll be doing a live podcast. From
Yeah,
there
we
in
are.
Oh
June.
sweet.
Yeah. We did a podcast at the one in January.
Mm-hmm.
When was that? January?
26 or something. 27.
At the LA convention, because I
Yeah.
know they do
Yeah.
that at the LA
Yeah.
convention.
Yep.
Center.
That's their big show.
Okay.
The podcast was fucked though.
Why?
So this is the first time.
Should we not go there?
No, it's fine. It's fine. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
This is the first time we did a podcast that we didn't do the sound or can do any of that stuff. So the expo contracts out the convention center to do like the live stuff and yada yada. So guy gives me the cord to plug in to the camera so we can do it live on there, and I go to listen back and it's just bzzz.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So everything.
So, and the guy came up to me right after, comes up to me, he's like, hey, probably didn't work. Sorry about that. The other guy do something and he like fucked it up.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever.
So no,
But anyway.
not only our live streams,
Yeah.
but we didn't have even have podcast audio.
Nothing. I tried to do like.
Other than a nice conversation with Mr. Kai.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to do from the camera audio. So different than the actual microphone audio, like how that stuff works. And it's so loud there. There's 20,000 people walking around. It's just
Yeah,
there's music and there's stuff, shit like that. So yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, lesson learned, right?
Yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah.
When we go in Anaheim, we'll check it first.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we'll do it. But yeah, so you've been to the
Actually, I
Expo?
remembered I did
Okay.
one of my first CrossFit competitions there. I don't know if they do it
okay.
anymore, but at the Fit Expo. So I didn't actually walk around because I was nervous about my competition.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't think they do it anymore.
I don't think they do.
I
I think it was called NLI or something. Anyways, but
I don't know. I
something
know they
else.
did it in Anaheim a couple years ago when we did we were with Box and Burn and Lights Out brand. They had the CrossFit.
Right.
stuff going
I
on.
think they stopped doing that though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yes, I do remember being there, but I didn't check out what was going on at the Fit Expo. I just thought it was a bunch of like meatheads. But then again,
It's you-
that's CrossFit.
That was you. It was you people. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And us, like we're the same thing. But it's just like Expo West. I think Expo West is bigger.
I don't know.
Yeah.
how many
I
people
don't
go
know.
to Expo West.
Either way.
Okay.
Fit Expo, like you think you see everything, and then you look on Instagram later, and you're like, oh, I missed eight brands on that one aisle,
Right.
Because there's 420. Is that what you said? 420 brands there, like
Yeah.
booth setups.
Booths.
Like it's so wild and so big.
It is. It's
Wow.
cool to be around though.
For sure.
Definitely.
Even
Like-minded people.
Yeah, and for us, it's good to see like ideas. Like, all right, this is how that person markets it. These are like the brand setups. These are just like how they set up the space in there. Like, oh, we've never seen something like that. That's a great idea. Why aren't more people doing that?
No, for sure. And actually, so the person that I went to with Expo West, she had a mission. She's like, let's go talk to some of these vendors and hear about their story. Like I approached Perfect Bar. I love Perfect Bar.
Yeah.
Like people just think they're fairly new, but they've been around, I think 13 years. So it's an
I didn't know
inspiring
that.
story, because you think like, fuck, why isn't my company like growing faster than it is? But then you don't hear that these companies have actually been around longer than we know of. And so that was kind of a goal for me though too, especially you guys are building a brand, talk to these vendors. I guess what you're doing with, in this situation right now, but so that was my main goal too, was to talk to some vendors, obviously not my competitors. That's just kind of like, hey,
hide your
but
name.
talk to I know, right? Yeah. So I hit up some of my vendors that I admire, and that was one of my main goals was to do, is build that
cool.
relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Are you doing any like cross promotion types?
no, I need to start doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to bring in on a partner so I can focus on the operation side, because that's what I'm good at. More natural.
Getting shit done.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the marketing. So we'll see. There is somebody that wants to partner up with me. So I don't know.
Cool.
We'll see. We're still talking.
Yeah. We should do, we were doing, I was just thinking this earlier I didn't think about this till you got here when we were talking. Is one of the things we want to do with our brand is like feature people in LA that do cool shit.
Oh yeah,
like yourself. We should do a feature.
Definitely. Yeah.
We just
did one on Gustav.
Yeah, we did one on Gustav. Who's just a really like stupid talented artist, and he does. He's got this one mural that we videoed, and it's him doing
like a street artist. Murals on like buildings.
Yeah, and it's LeBron and Kobe, and I'll show you after.
Okay.
It's really cool what he does, and then we're working with a group that does, it's called Alleviate Skid Row. So just like cool, different type things that are going around.
Features in our city.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Support the local companies. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. We'll talk after. Anyway, anything else, Timmy?
No.
Oh, this was fun.
It was cool.
I'm glad that we went to go get ice cream 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad that I didn't just go home, because usually when I do that, if I go to get dessert, and I'm glad that we were able to make this all happen.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
I enjoyed talking to you guys.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Hope you learned a few things. It's really cool story, right? Frankie's
phenomenal. Yeah, I like Frankie.
Yeah, super cool girl. Just met her today. Besides some Instagram conversation and some emails back and forth. Super cool story. Glad she was able to share that with us, and hope you took something from how she grew her biz to where she started to where she is now.
In 70 different stores.
Which is a big damn deal. That's not easy. That's not easy at all. Also, Timmy, you like coffee, right?
Love it.
So do I. To get 15% off our delicious R City coffee, go to rcitycoffee.com. Use the code BS. Until next time, Timmy, we'll be drinking some coffee. You like that close? That's not a good close.
Yeah, I like it.
We closed it anyway.
Yeah.
Goodbye.